welcome to Koh Samui International Airport here in southern Thailand, where I have just arrived from Singapore. I usually don't film my introductions after having arrived in the destination that I'm at, but the reason for that is, well, if that doesn't show you what airline I've just flown on, I don't know what will. Come join me. Let's see how Scoot does. With the weather this morning being incredibly British, it was time that I made my way to Changi for my flight north, away from the poor weather and to the sunny and warm tropical Thailand. Instead of staying in the city, for once, I decided to stay in a hotel in the suburbs, and I won't lie, it was mainly for financial reasons and for timing. But it was something I had not done before outside of Australia, and I'm glad I did, as the food in Bidok was incredible. I chose Bidok for the simple reason that it was relatively close to the airport, which is a residential area west of Changi. As stated in my introduction this morning, I shall be flying up to Koh Samui in southern Thailand with Scoot on board their brand new Embraer E190 E2s. Scoot operates out of Terminal 1 at Changi Airport, which for a low-cost carrier is surprising as most of them depart from Terminal 4. However, Scoot is special being Singapore Airlines' low-cost carrier. It gets special access. The Scoot check-in area is located roughly in the center of the building, in rows 5 to 7. There are manned counters, kiosks, and self-serve bag drop facilities. I decided on a kiosk over the manned counters as they were quite busy and time was not on my side. Once check-in was completed and my bag was dropped off and on its way, I made my way to the gate in preparation for boarding. Terminal 1 has two major entrances to the immigration area, both directing either sides of the terminal. However, both lead to one central area, kind of like a funnel. Interestingly, passports are no longer required at Changi Airport, which is the world's first. However, don't be fooled, you will need your passport at your destination, so it's handy to have it ready. Once I had cleared immigration, I turned immediately right and made my way towards the gate. Changi Airport is very evidently different from most airports around the world, in that there is no large security checkpoint, rather small ones at each gate. As today I will be departing from a remote stand, today's flight will be departing out of gate Delta 33. Once I had cleared security, I proceeded down the stairs to the fairly decently sized waiting area, accommodating up to two 180-seat aircraft at a time. Boarding this morning commenced fairly on time, and as this flight will be departing from a remote stand, a bus ride to the aircraft was required. Despite having two buses at the disposal of the ground staff, for today's flight only one bus was necessary to transport today's passengers as the flight was only half full, albeit we were very cramped. As the bus approached the stand, I was able to take a fairly decent look at the aircraft that'll be flying me north to Thailand, which today is an Embraer E190-E2, registered as 9 Victor Tango Hotel Bravo. She was built at Embraer's final assembly line in São José dos Campos, Brazil, being delivered brand new to Scoot in May of 2024, making this aircraft not even half a year old. As if it were one last thanks from Singapore, the rain slowly began to start again as I was stepping out onto the apron. This gave me a spectacular view of one of the Pratt & Whitney 1900 Gulf engines, which in my opinion make this aircraft look like a mini 787. Scoot's E190 E2s are in an all-economy class layout with 112 seats in your standard 2-2 configuration. This morning I shall be seated in 3 Alpha in the forward zone. The economy class seat has 29 inches of pitch and 18 inches of width. There is a standard tray table that folds down and extends. In the seat back pocket, you'll find a safety card, magazine, buy on board menu, and an air sickness bag. Above are individual reading lights, air vents, and a flight attendant call button. Soon the air stairs were detached and we commenced our pushback from stand 953 right, 3 minutes ahead of our scheduled departure time. Taxied to runway 20 center via November, Papa 1, Papa 2 and Tango 2. Now please enjoy this unedited takeoff. Once airborne, we spun around to the right through the very thick cloud layer surrounding Singapore, setting up a northerly course for Thailand. Flight time today is 1 hour and 35 minutes, covering a distance of 687 miles or 1,107 kilometers, cruising at flight level 380. Whilst climbing out of Singapore, the weather for the entire climb was constant, with the seatbelt sign not being switched off until approximately 25 minutes after takeoff. Once the seatbelt sign was extinguished, the cabin crew were freed, which signaled the start of the in-flight service, to which I pre-ordered breakfast, which was a tuna, cheese and tomato croissant. The croissant came with a small chocolate brownie and a bizarre can of water, which had a rather unpleasant metallic taste. The croissant was actually rather good. I haven't had tuna before, and this was quite a nice surprise, one I'm definitely keen on trying again when I'm back in Sydney. Eventually, the highest peaks of the Titiwangsa mountain range in Malaysia were able to pierce through the extensive cloud cover whilst I was eating breakfast. On board the aircraft are 2 bathrooms, one at the front and one at the rear. Inside is very modern, with the usual amenities you would typically expect to find for a flight of this length, including hand soap. With the clouds parting one final time, I was able to glimpse the Kelantan River near Kota Bharu in far northern Malaysia. Soon we commenced our descent into Samui. You've probably noticed that despite being a relatively clear day, the video quality isn't amazing. And what are these lines on the screen? Well, typically, aircraft cruise at an altitude of 30,000 feet or higher, where the temperature outside can reach a chilly -40 degrees. At these altitudes, water vapor from the atmosphere, particularly water that sticks to the aircraft after takeoff in a storm, freezes over. This mainly happens when dust is present in the water. You'll notice that the closer to the ground the plane gets, the less of the ice you'll notice, as the ice condenses back into a liquid form, and then the majority of it gets blown away due to our airspeed. However, it still doesn't disappear due to the humidity. Now please enjoy this unedited landing. After landing, we taxied back to the apron via runway 35 and Delta. We pulled into stand 9 6 minutes ahead of our scheduled arrival time, with a Bangkok Airways A319 departing directly behind us. Stepping off the aircraft into the extreme heat of Thailand, I left behind Scoot and was greeted by friendly faces and a small open-air bus ride to the terminal. Samui Airport has to be one of the most interesting airports I've ever landed at, as there are no jet bridges present, only open-air bus rides between the terminal and the aircraft. With destinations such as Makassar, Vientiane, Cebu, Miri, Krabi, and of course Koh Samui, as well as many more, the Scoot E190 E2 has definitely made its mark in the regional network of Southeast Asia. For a low-cost carrier, I was very surprised by the amount of comfort on board. The seats actually recline a fairly decent amount, and the seat pitch was also a lot, only 1 inch less than that of Qantas. This flight didn't feel like Scoot, and was certainly value for money, having all the amenities needed for a short-haul flight. Apart from the bumpy takeoff and the lack of the ability to purchase hot meals, which was a problem for the other passengers as they didn't pre-order like I did, everything went well. I would definitely recommend Scoot as a safer and more affordable alternative for getting around Asia through Singapore, rather than the likes of, say, AirAsia. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Make sure to check out the other videos that I have on my YouTube channel. And also, I now have a Discord server. Feel free to join. The link is at the top of the description. And don't forget to ring that notification bell if you enjoy my content. And if you would like to see more, I post my videos every Friday at 8 PM Sydney time or GMT +11. And I hope to see you again in the next one. See you later!